Okay, so this is a little instructional video for rebuilding the Puffco Peak Atomizers. It's pretty easy. It's a basic E-rig setup with a simple coil. Right here we have your center pin, rubber washer, and the casing. You just take a small flathead or your pliers, whichever you prefer. You just slightly pry up, lift out the pin. In there you'll have a small rubber washer. Be careful here because you don't want to tear it. If you do, you have to find another one somewhere because you need this. That's to separate the center pin from the metal housing, and that's crucial for the wires to not short together. Okay, so once you have that, your unit will come apart pretty easily. The wire, that's what holds the wires in place. This is a burned out heater. In this case, it didn't actually crack from thermal shock like it does sometimes, and this one, it was swabbed too hard and the pin came out. This was an original atomizer. This is actually a fairly new one. I had passed it around at a festival and that's what happens. But the rebuilt ones actually seem to last a bit longer. I believe the leads are embedded a bit better than the OEM ones, from what I can tell. So you take the ceramic off. I clip it off with your needle nose right here. Take this, snip it, get rid of that old heater. You can clean this up. It's ceramic, you can torch it, but just for the life of it and the fact that I've had to use little cups from Divine Tribe and other things like that in the past in old atomizers when I lost them, I try to take care of these. You can ISO soak it. For the sake of the video, I'm just gonna replace it really quick. It's not a big deal. It's not too dirty. So the heater goes in against the small feet. The big feet go to the bottom of the atomizer cup. So you're going to put it in the holes like that. Push it down. I use the rebuild jig. These aren't necessary, but they really do make life a little bit easier. Right there, you've got the rebuild jig ready to go. So I actually bend the wires just so they're lined up. I'm going to lift it up so it's a little easier for you to see. So these both need to be going through the center hole of that housing, but one of them needs to be coming through the center pin. So that one, I carefully bend over and then back up. And then this one, I just bend sort of close. How I figured that out was pretty easy. I just took one of the old ones apart, and that's how an original one's bent. This is still a working Puffco unit. And here's the new one. So there you've got your heater assembly. Stick that in your rebuild jig and slide your housing over. You want to pull one into the notch. That's the one that you didn't bend. The one that you bent is coming straight out. Carefully drop your little rubber ring around the center pin that you bent and then push it into place. You can use your pliers if you need to, but it's usually pretty easy. Pops back in there. Alright, and then you just want to put the rubber ring over the center pin and just pop it right into place. Usually just slides right in. You can use your pliers if you need to. So you can see the pin you bent is on the outside of the rubber washer. Well, the pin that you didn't bend with the pliers, that you bent to the outside. The pin that you bent with the pliers to the center is on the inside of the rubber ring. You can see. What the jig does is keep everything centered while you work. It gives you a nice little working station. From here, some people snip it now to get a little closer. Some people wait, put their plug in and then the pin in and then snip it. It's up to you. You can do whichever. I will snip after. You put your pin in place, and it is crucial that you get really close. So I'm going to actually sell some really affordable nippers that get extremely close. Bead tools work really well. These are bead pliers, and these are some sod cutters. I'll sell some of these on my site. Try to do some nice ones and some cheap ones soon. You can't have too many tools, pliers and wire cutters and sod cutters, things like that. But anyway, you get as close as you can on these. You don't want them touching anything they shouldn't. So, bam, bam. What you're left with is a rebuilt atomizer for your peak. Show you guys the unit heating up. This is on white, but these get red hot all over, so you would be able to see this glow regardless of the temp. You can see the full coverage of these heaters. They work great. You want your peak to glow red hot? You know what to do.